If you are just starting photography, then congratulations, welcome to the photography world. There are definitely things that I wish I knew when I was starting photography that I can reflect on now that I've been in my business for the past 5 years. And now that I've been able to reflect, I'm like, why not share with all of you lovely folks? So this is 20 things that I wish I knew when I first started photography. Hi everyone, I'm Mackenzie Ryan. I'm a photographer based in Nashville, Tennessee, and I do all kinds of portrait work, so musicians all the way to weddings. I have been a photographer for the last 5 years. I did study film production and film theory before then, so I like to think that I know a good amount of stuff, and that's why I'm making this video today, to share all of my information with you guys. Okay, so we'll just start at number 1, which is my last video, because I already thought it was important enough to make a whole video about it, but that is that you don't need to niche down as a photographer. Definitely go to my other video if this is something that you're interested in learning more about, but just quickly, I think that when you first start in photography, you shouldn't niche down, and you should be taking every job that is given to you. And this is because you might surprise yourself and you might like things that you thought that you previously wouldn't have liked. I thought that I would hate weddings, and I actually really love weddings. I refused to take weddings when I was first starting out for a myriad of reasons, but when I actually did take the plunge and shoot a wedding, I realized that I just loved it so much, and I've been doing it ever since. So I think that you don't want to stop yourself from figuring out who you are as a photographer and the style that you have. And I think taking as many jobs as you possibly can so that you can learn that. And I guess not taking as many jobs as you possibly can, that's the wrong thing to say, because I don't want you guys to be burnt out. But taking as many different types of jobs that are offered to you so that you can figure out what you like and what you don't like, so that when you get more into your career, you can choose what you want to do and what you don't want to do. And still, I don't think you need to fully niche down. If you end up loving everything or end up loving multiple different things, then you can totally do that. But I think that it's important to at least figure out what you like and don't like in the beginning. You don't need to niche down ever, but you definitely shouldn't niche down in the beginning. Number 2 is super important. Expensive gear doesn't make you a better photographer. That's kind of obvious, but definitely something that I needed to hear when I was first starting photography. I started with the Canon 80D and I had a kit lens, and that was all the gear that I had. For so long, I thought that if I was able to upgrade my camera and my lens, then I would be a better photographer. And I'm so glad that the mentor that I had at that moment was able to tell me that it did not and that I can save my money. I'm glad that I had a mentor tell me that I need to really know my technique and really know my composition and really know how to use my camera, and then I can spend the money to upgrade. But first, you need to feel comfortable in shooting in manual and doing everything that you can with what is in front of you at that moment. 3, natural light is powerful and beautiful, and you should know how to use it similarly to studio lighting. And this means that you don't just want to be in the shade and have that natural light just flat. You want to figure out how to create those different shadows on a person's face to make the photo more interesting. And don't stray away from direct light either, because direct light can be super fun once you learn how to work with it. I think you can learn how to use natural light by learning how to use studio light. So maybe booking a studio and figuring out how to use the light that you have synthetically to make these different shapes on your subject's face, and then taking that and doing that in a natural light setting is going to really up your game. 4, your style will come, and you just have to be patient. You'll figure it out, and that's totally fine. You can work with a couple of presets and see what you like about them, and then you can play around in Lightroom and just see what looks best for your photos. Make sure that you are editing one photo and then doing that same edit across all the photos, so that not every single photo is entirely different and you're not starting over from the beginning with every single photo that you're editing in that gallery. But yeah, it's gonna take some time and you're gonna switch around a lot, and that's totally fine, and it's just gonna come to you when it comes to you. Back everything up. Make sure that you're shooting on 2 SD cards just in case one of them corrupts. If you don't have a dual slot in your camera, that's fine, you'll get there. But for now, just shoot on that SD card, and then when you get to your computer, make sure that you're backing up on an external hard drive. You really want to get that process in the beginning so that it's easier for you as you continue on with your business. You want to know what that process of backing up your photos looks like. Apart from what I said with the finding your niche and not needing to, I also think that it's okay to not say yes to every single project. Yes, I want you to try out as many different types of project as you can, but you don't have to say yes to every single project. Make sure that you're not getting burnt out, and make sure that you still have time for yourself. You want to maintain that good, healthy work-life balance. You don't just want to take every job and just roll with it because you will get burnt out very quickly. The studio time ended, so I ended up coming home, and I'm going to finish filming this in my home office, which I am in right now. But let's go back to where we left off, which I think was number 7 and number 8, which kind of tie into each other. Number 7 being you need to learn how to talk to people, because when you're doing a photo shoot and when people are going to be in front of your camera, you obviously want to make them feel comfortable when they're in front of your camera, but you also need to make them feel comfortable when they're behind your camera, like when the camera's not even on them, you know? So when they first get there and you first get there, you guys have never met before, you've talked online, you've talked through emails, maybe you've met over like Zoom. You want them to be comfortable, and so you want to engage in some small talk, maybe engage in some not so small talk, and like just start getting really comfortable with them and making them feel good. Because if they feel like they know you, and if they feel known by you, then they'll feel better being in front of the camera and feel more comfortable when you're posing them and not feel so insecure and scared. Because a lot of the times these people have never been in front of the camera before. So you want to make sure these people are feeling comfortable before they even get in front of your camera. And then that ties into number 8, which is that boundaries are not only okay to have in your business, but absolutely necessary to have in your business. And this means boundaries for all things. Like if someone is doing something you don't feel comfortable with during a photo shoot or before you book them for a photo shoot, it's okay to tell them, or it's okay not to book them. You can have those boundaries with your business in the same sense of like, if they cancel with outside of your cancellation policy, you can still hold on to their retainer if that's what it says in your contract. You're allowed to have those policies in place and to stick with them, and it's okay and completely needed to have boundaries in your business so that you don't get taken advantage of, and so that you have policies that people can follow and a good structure. Number 9 is very important. You will feel like an imposter sometimes, almost all the time maybe, and that's okay. I feel like most people in the creative business, whatever creative business you're in, they feel like an imposter, and everybody feels like that. So shouldn't we normalize that? Shouldn't we know that that's just what everybody feels like, and that it's okay, and that we can grow from that? That you most definitely deserve to be where you are, and you are good at what you do. You need to just remind yourselves of those things. Number 10 is that Instagram and other social media is really important, but your website is also really important. A lot of people, especially in this new generation of photographers, I feel like they don't have a website. They just don't think of it as something that you need to have. And so I have met a lot of photographers just starting out that don't make that a priority. And yet it is such an important thing to have in your business. We want to make sure that we are growing our Instagram and growing our socials, but we're also making a great website with all of our photos, and maybe with some blog posts so that we can get some SEO, and just making sure that you have something to send off to clients, or something for clients to find you on if they Google you. Because if you are going to be applying for any positions, or if you are reaching out to people, then those are things that you want to share so that you have a website apart from any social media platform that is just yours. Number 11 is editing. And editing is a couple of different things. One is that you shouldn't be editing every single photo individually, because then that's how you get your photos to all look different when you send a gallery. You should be editing one photo in one specific light area. Like if you shot one outfit all in direct sun in a green field, you should edit one photo and then copy and paste to like all of those photos in the direct sun in the green field. You can go ahead and make those small adjustments. That gallery will look cohesive and look similar. If you decide to edit every single photo from the very beginning, you might see that your gallery is no longer cohesive, and maybe one photo is way cooler and one photo is way warmer. So you just want to make sure that you are copy and pasting your edits and making adjustments from there. That's why making your own presets is really great, or if you want to buy presets, that's also great, especially if you want to buy presets so that you can learn how to edit. Just great to do, because it's just such a helpful resource. If you find a preset that you really like, then you can see exactly what was done in Lightroom to make that edit happen, and then you can figure out a way to adjust to make it your own. You don't have to rely on just starting from the beginning and starting from scratch for every single photo, and it makes editing a lot quicker. Going off that and finding presets, number 12 is that you don't have to start from scratch with like everything. You don't have to like reinvent the wheel. Like there are a lot of photographers out there who are offering a lot of educational resources, and they are also offering a lot of templates and a lot of emails and a lot of presets, and they are making YouTube videos and posting on TikTok, all this educational content. These are resources that you should use in order to grow your business, and you don't have to start from the beginning and be full of pride and just say like, I'm gonna do my own thing and I'm not gonna let anybody help me. You should definitely let people help you, and you should definitely use those resources and, you know, grow from that, and don't fully rely on them, but use them as a starting point because they're there for you and people are offering their help and offering to give them to you. So why not use them and grow from them from there, make it your own and have your own voice and use it as like a jumping off point. 13 is undervaluing yourself hurts the industry, and it most importantly hurts yourself. If you decide that you're going to be offering free photography to every single grad student, then not only is it going to hurt the industry because now photographers who are full-time and are trying to get these clients can no longer compete with your free prices, but it also hurts you. And I think that's even more important than the industry because like you need to be looking out for how you're going to grow from this. And if you are offering free sessions or $50 sessions, even worse, and you think that you're going to grow from that, people aren't going to take you seriously and they aren't going to see you as an established and confident photographer. They're going to think that you are brand new and that you are not confident in your work and that maybe they can get like a really good discount from you, but it's not going to be the best photos. And next time they go to reach out to you, if you've raised your prices from like $50 to $250, they're not going to want to work with you because they were there for the discount only. So we want to make sure that we start at a good point where you can grow from it and you're not totally undervaluing yourself because that just hurts you in the long run. Number 14 is that shooting a manual is really important. I can only imagine that if you're watching this video, it's probably because you already know how to shoot in manual mode for your camera. If not, there are other videos around on YouTube that you can learn how to do that for your specific camera, and they're super helpful, so I definitely recommend them. But I can imagine that you already know how to do that. So that is a huge tip, but going off from there, I think that you should learn other things in your camera as well. I think knowing your camera beyond just manual mode is very important. You should know your focus settings, you should know your white balance settings. It's pretty much like all these little things that like are also important, and it's not just manual with ISO, shutter speed, and aperture. There's a bunch of other settings in your camera that I think that you should also learn how to use so that you can know all these different tiny things with your camera. I think that that's going to help you create a relationship with your camera and therefore with photography, and it's really going to help you grow in your creativity and grow in your art because you know how to do all these little things with your camera. Number 15 is that you are allowed to evolve, and you most definitely will evolve from where you are starting, and things are going to change and they should change, and that's totally fine. I think that you should set up a structure for your business knowing that it's going to evolve from there. Like you should set up a website and you should set up your packages and you should have your gear a certain way, knowing that you are going to evolve and those things are going to change, and you're going to really hone your craft and you're really going to create your own brand and your own voice, and that you are going to change little things until it gets to a point where you feel like this is me. And then even from there it might change, even from there it might evolve. Even more so if you decide that you want to shoot a specific kind of thing in the beginning, you're allowed to change that later, and that's totally fine. And if you want to edit a certain way in the beginning, you can change that later too. And this is your business and this is your art, and you're allowed to evolve and change however you feel is fit. Number 16 is collaboration over competition. And this is huge for the photography industry. The photography industry is really special because everybody is so community driven. When I was first starting out in photography, I had just switched from the film industry in LA to the photography industry in Nashville, so the difference for me was like night and day. As a new generation of photography emerges, we should continue to have that community in our industry, and we should be able to give people our resources and to help people. When I first started in photography in Nashville, I had reached out to a couple people on Instagram, and they were immediately welcoming to me, and they were my mentors, and they really helped me grow. And now I've had people reach out to me and ask questions, and I feel like I want to pay it forward and I want to help them because I had that help when I was first starting out and it helped me so much. As you grow, you're also going to make a lot of friends in the photography industry, and you have to know that there's enough work to go around, and that if they get a project that you were wanting, there's more to come around for everyone. You can just be happy for them. You don't have to be jealous. You don't have to be sad that you didn't get it. Like if you didn't get something, then that's not meant for you, and that's okay. And you can still be happy for your friends and your peers who are getting those projects. And then someday you're gonna get projects just like that too, and you want them to be happy for you. So it's all about being happy for one another, supportive of one another, encouraging one another, and just making sure that we're continuing that community in this industry and really rooting for each other, because there really is enough work to go around for everyone. Number 17 is that marketing is a part of the job. So like I said before with the website, we want to make sure that we're marketing in a bunch of different ways. We have word of mouth, we have social media marketing, we have targeted ads, we have website, I'm sure there's like a bunch of other things. There's a lot of things that you can do to market yourself, and it is the way that you get clients. So it's very important that you understand how to market yourself and the right way to market yourself, and that you start doing that and start learning more. Obviously we're photographers, so we didn't, you know, most of us, I guess, like didn't study marketing when we were in college or in school. And that is something that we need to learn now as we're growing in our business, because that's such a huge part about having a business and finding clients and allowing clients to find us. Number 18 is to make sure you have a contract for everyone. That is super important. I don't know why, but when I was just starting out in photography, I thought that having a contract meant that you didn't trust the other person. So anytime somebody who I knew personally would hire me, which was like the only people that would hire me when I was first starting out, I didn't send them contracts, because I thought for some reason it was me saying like, I don't trust you, because I thought that it was just like a one-way thing, like, oh, like this contract is so that it's legally binding that you owe me money. And I'm like, this is showing you that like, as your friend, I don't trust that you're gonna pay me. That's what I thought, but that's not the case at all. It's protection on both parts. So it's protection that they receive the service that you are providing for them, and it's protecting you for receiving the money that they owe you for doing that service. Number 19 is that you don't have to post everything that you shoot. I think when you're starting out, you should post a lot. I think that you should be shooting a lot. I think you should be posting a lot, or at least building your portfolio and putting all of that stuff together so that you have a portfolio, because when you're starting out, you don't really have a lot in your portfolio. So you want to build that and make it into something good, but it's definitely quality versus quantity, and you want some really good quality images. Obviously you want your Instagram to reflect your galleries really well. Like you don't want somebody to hire you based off of your Instagram or your website and then to receive a gallery and be like, oh, this is nothing like their Instagram or their website. But you don't have to share every single thing to Instagram or your website if you don't want to. And then number 20, last but not least, is that it's okay to take breaks. In the beginning, you are so passionate and you are so motivated, are probably doing a lot. And you need to know how to have that work-life balance very early on. Otherwise, you're gonna get burnt out and you're not gonna be able to continue. Because it's a marathon, it's not a sprint, and you wanna make sure that you have that passion for a while and that you don't just use it all up in a year shooting every single day or multiple times a day and then just feel really burnt out because it feels more like a job than your passion. And of course it's both, but you need to have that passion in your photography to get those good photos and to create that art. Otherwise it's just not going to be the same. Make sure you take breaks and make sure you put yourself first, and make sure that your mental health and your self-care goes before your business, because you just have to make sure that you're okay to really make sure that your art and everything else is standing out and full of creativity. That's 20 things I wish I knew when I first started photography. I hope that this helped you guys. If you are a photographer and you have something fun that you want to share from when you were first starting that you wish you knew, I'd love to hear it, so please comment below. Or if you're just starting and you have questions, then definitely let me know and I'll try to answer them. But yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys and just know what your thoughts are about this subject. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Keep creating. Bye.